to another video on Gearsaw Studios, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a professional cave base. Because sometimes you're on the surface, you have your nice starter house, but it's a little basic. Sure, it looks good, but it's just, basic, and sometimes its size makes it a little bit unrealistic for sustained survival. Therefore, let's just go over and build ourselves a nice cave base. Get you some resources excavating, and we can make it nice and professional to make it much more sustainable for long-term survival. However, before I begin, remember, please like and subscribe, and without further ado, onto the tutorial. For our builds palette, we're going to be using oak planks, along with the dark oak and spruce variants for the walls and furniture and such, stripped spruce logs for the trim, cobbled deep slate just wherever we need, and then some deep slate and cracked deep slate tiles wherever we have places with lava. In those same places, polished deep slate or polished andesite would also be preferable. Then, you need 10 stacks of cyan terracotta for the exterior. Although that seems a little obscene, makes sense, because we're going to be building two giant statues out here. And although they aren't going to be the hugest thing, this statue right here is one given a scale of 4 roughly, so imagine about half-sized statues to this. So, 10 stacks actually isn't that hard. Then, go onto a mountainside, and mark where you want to have the front door. Here, I've marked a very simple entrance. Although, this looks incredibly basic and you kind of want to send more of a message that, hey, I'm a good Minecrafter, look at what I can do. Still, we have to start small. From the front door, you have two options, either using cobbled deep slate or deep slate tiles. Make a staircase downward to the desired level, or if you built it on the ground, possibly reconsider, or just make a simple pathway. As you go down, you want to add a railing on both sides, although we might want to add things to both sides later on, so perhaps skip that step. Once you make it to the bottom, extend the pathway a little bit further, making it fade out by replacing some of the blocks with the natural surrounding blocks. The next part of our exterior is including some waterfalls. You can see I made a parallel staircase to this, and if I add water, there's black concrete back here in order to conceal where it's coming from. It flows down and waterfalls are cool and all. Nothing else to really say. You could have another pit where they go down, or you can just cover it up and make it go into a small pool here. It's up to you what you want to do. But you can see that provides a nice splash of color, the blue, and it makes it look a little bit more professional unless this is a hole in a wall. Add another staircase, and then we can get ready to add the statues, while also adding some flowers up front. Just adding tulips and such will be all that's needed. Waterfalls in place. We now need to do two final things for the exterior, besides, of course, landscaping and lighting. First off, make two podiums, one for each statue. We can see a very simple design here. There isn't too much to analyze, not really any way to describe it, just copy what I have, and then, in the middle, start building your statue. 4 blocks here, and then we stack up 6 blocks, and then another 6 blocks with 2 blocks on either side. I'll show a completed model of that. And once you're done with the statues, you should have used roughly 10 stacks of cyan terracotta. See, I got 2 statues here, 6 blocks for the legs, 6 blocks for the torso and arms, and a 4x4 cube for the head. Not terribly complicated. If need be, you might want to add pixel art into their hands. Of course, you just change their arms to be at an angle, and fortunately I have made a tutorial on how to do pixel art. Therefore, if you're interested in that, then I have shown the thing in the top right. Remember, if you're doing it in their hands, put it on the innermost block instead of the outermost block. Otherwise, we can start excavating into the mountain here. So, there isn't very much to do. You just start mining. I'd do I'd probably go maybe 4 blocks before going back down, and the flooring should probably be oak or birch, or just any other wood-based block. The statues are in. The landscaping is not, but I'm doing that off camera anyways, so for the most part, this exterior is complete. Is it super grand? No, but this is a cave base after all. All the good stuff gets to be on the inside, in which you want to make a staircase going downward, in case your mountain is too thin. Fortunately, I have a massive amount of space to work with. But aside from that, we just want to make a tunnel, and the walls should have a nice dark oak jut out where I've been putting the dark oak stripped logs, because making a grand entrance into the main section of the base is sure to make your building skills look better. So just make a nice hallway with the accents here being replaced with dark oak planks that stick out, and have stairs going into the ceiling. The first hallway is completed, and inside this first hallway, you can see it's looking very nice, with the extra depth of the dark oak parts, which don't always fit in every room, but if possible, include them. Really add a lot to the build. Not much else to say. Besides, we want to make a very large room in front of us. This is going to be the bedroom and really the storage room and the room where you just do everything in. While these side rooms right here are going to be used for things like enchanting or, smithing and such. Any other miscellaneous things that you wouldn't need constantly. So, start excavating here and get ready to have multiple floor layers in this giant room. While excavating your big room at the back of this place, there's a couple of things you want to do. 1. Make sure that you have varying floor levels. 2. Some pillars in here with proper lighting. And 3. You want to make sure that your walls have stairs going up so that way it's consistent with this part. Otherwise, cobble deep slate floors or perhaps even birch. And just make all the pillars connect in a way that you like, and then start filling in the floor with cobbled deep slate, except on this middle part. I'll do something else later. Now, more stuff is done here, and we can see the roof is starting to look good. Although the corners, a little bit of overlap happens, it still looks pretty good, and as long as you have lighting, this room is going to look fantastic. You can see what I've done in the middle where I have pillars outlining it, and how there's a little bit of cascade downward. You might want to make the outermost blocks dark oak planks like this, although it might become a little too, crowded with all the dark oak in here, because the middle is going to be filled with glass to see a treasures room. But either way, continue with your room. Make sure that you don't have any stairs jutting out into 3 wide pathways, and these walls right here, skip adding the pillar to, because this is going to be our storage walls. So that way you can actually function in a survival world. Once your detailing is in, your room should be looking something like this, which is, well, pretty complicated. But once you dissect what's actually going on, it becomes pretty simple. We just have our little arcing pieces here, with smaller ones going into the ceiling, and with them at various parts, some with stairs and some with not. It actually turns pretty simple. If you're not quite grasping it, that's okay. It requires quite a bit of practice to get this down. But the next step here is we want to build similar rooms to this, but the walls are lined with chests, which means the walls themselves are recessed, more chests, and as long as you have enough storage for yourself, then that's how big the room needs to be, which means it can either be ginormous or it can be pretty small. This room is now complete, except for the bottom part. We can see 2 storage units on either side. You'd probably need more in actual survival, but this is a very nice amount. And the final things are we need to build 3 rooms. One a bedroom, 2 rooms on either side here, and that's, well, 3, and 4, but this one's following a different style, 1 for treasures. So, of course, get a place for a trapdoor and a ladder to go down, and then build 3 rooms that are like this, except less complex, such as only pillars on the corners or just no pillars in the middle. That'll make your job a lot easier on the inside. Back of our main room, we have a bedroom. We can see the same design has been going on, although it's still kind of complicated looking. Once you realize what you're doing, it's not actually that difficult. Then, fill it up with whatever you keep in your bedroom, armor stands, emergency chests, whatever you put in there. But of course, valuables go here. Also, this middle platform is just for general utilities that you'd need in this kind of place, so anything you need in normal survival, place it here, in this middle part. But otherwise, continue building your other rooms, and do them the same way you did your bedroom, except one of them should have deep slate tiles for flooring. For the sake of time, I've gone ahead and built this room right here. The one with the non-deep slate tile flooring should be an enchanting room, with a grindstone, a barrel filled completely with lapis. Don't even bother making a normal lapis chest over there. Just store it all here so that way you can always enchant. Grindstone, some chairs just for decoration, and double layer carpet. This inner part's wool, outer part's carpet. With this room done, go into your other room, which should have deep slate tile flooring with some cracked deep slate tiles in it, and that will be your blacksmith room. If you need more detail on this room, I've already made a tutorial on that, although beware, it's over a year old and I have lower mic quality and a very high-pitched voice back then, so you might just want to mute me and put on captions. Now, we have the central pit of treasures done, some lanterns in here, and we can see some of the blocks are on the ground to give the illusion that some of the piles are seeping onto the floor. Got the egg, got a skull catalyst, we could say it came from a warden, but otherwise, this place is completely finished. We have a bedroom in the back, some storage on either side, making sure it's all functional. We got 2 really nice rooms on either side of this. Going outside, we have some statues and waterfalls. I still have not done landscaping, but of course, that's such a small part of the build. But we can safely say this build is finished. Which means, with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. But regardless if you do or not, enjoy the rest of your day. Gearsaw out.